Okay, so this is the next segment of the electrochemical battery buoyant electromagnetic propulsion gauntlet. So what I'm going to be using here, right here I apply the silicon carbide, it's curing. I put a indentation using the quartz sphere to create the indentation. I'm going to remove it after it cures. This is silicon carbide mixed with bismuth. And I'm going to add more bismuth to here. My plans are to add more bismuth and copper to this system. Copper powder will be added, silicon carbide, and more silicon carbide, more copper, and I also add clay. You see the clay right there? And I also added aluminum foil onto the clay. So I'm gonna add a permanent magnet powder. I'm gonna add actually powder nickel neodymium. I'm gonna add gadolinium, and I'm gonna add phosphorus, and I'm gonna add when I add the phosphorus as far as luminescence for the entire gauntlet. I'm going to add graphite powder. I'm going to add graphene powder. I'm going to add So then I'm going to add the strips of the foil, silver foil, which are adhesive silver foil, and I'm going to add gold foil, and I'm going to add the more sheets of the thermal rubber, which I'm going to be putting inside of the internal parts so that it protects it. I'm going to make this like an electrochemical battery, body armor with copper for buoyancy. So I'm going to be using aluminum powder added with it for diamagnetic suspension. And the battery is similar to an alkaline type battery. However, I'm going to be using it synchronous so I can auto recharge. And this gauntlet would not need a rotary to know the lift into the ear. So I'm going to coat the entire exterior with the electrochemical battery compound, and that will be enclosed with a waterproofer and epoxy resin hardener. The epoxy resin hardener will enclose these segments of powders that I'm adding for this electrochemical buoyant gauntlet or biometric range body armor. So for now, I'm doing the gauntlet, and I will be working on the full body armor as electrochemical battery. This is similar to how similar to the reaction of a battery bearing two magnets and put within a magnetic field within a coil, a helix coil, without any current. It's just using the power of the the battery that is then formulated into electromagnet by the charge at which the cathode receive and the anode receive, having the polars emit or amplified, and the permanent magnet amplified within the coil, which will cause it to move as they actuate the battery bearing magnets within a helix coil. Whereas they used it, I remember they used it as an electromagnet, or as a trainer, a battery trainer, or electromagnetic coil trainer. So, therefore, the compounds that I add to this will react with the same. The same laws apply and rules apply to the same system of its actuator as it's moving. It will be used as a double alternator or compound alternator. The compound alternator will have its electromotive actually to the gadolinium will establish the heat to the pyro. I'm also going to add pyro powder to it, pyro quartz crystal powder with it. So that will be the electrical energy. That will be the actual reactive to flux the density of the copper and the aluminum powder and the metal power, iron 300 and iron 100G iron and 300G iron. And I'm going to be using phosphorus along with it, and a secret reactive type to cause the ignition to establish the charge of the pyroelectric effect, the piezoelectric effect, the thermoelectric effect, refrigeration, the SEEBECK effect, the Thompson effect, and magnetic refrigeration. Magnetohydrochloric effect. This is without using condensation. This is actually going to be an electrochemical battery, a solid-state electrochemical battery gauntlet. And again, I said I'm going to do it biometric range. So this is the first part of the segment to get everything, coated. So I'm just coating it with I have some cure here, and see I'm able to flex it. And this is not the hardener. It's just a epoxy resin that I'm using that is actually flexible. And then once I mount the surfaces up, I'm also laying it with adhesive adhesive tape. And then I'm going to be cutting the segments up into pieces, so I can make the electromagnetic battery actuate as far as additional structure. So I'll be back. My name is Jermaine Morton, and goodbye.